Hello all, I'm Sai and you're watching The Book Dragon. In today's video, I'm bringing to you my 5-star predictions for the first half of 2021. I have not done this kind of video before in the channel, but I've seen this kind of video popping up a lot in most of my favorite channels lately, so I've decided to do that. So I've got totally 9 books here which I'm predicting that I will be ending up finishing by the first half of 2021 itself, and I'm just going to say what are the reasons that I think that these might be 5-star reads. Also, I'm a person who's very much lavish when it comes to star ratings in books, especially in Goodreads. If I end up liking the book itself, or if I end up having a good time with it, I just go forward and give it 5 stars. You can see in my ratings that there are multiple books, many books which have ended up as 5 stars. I do also give certain books 4 stars and I like them better than the 5-star books, yet 5 stars is it's not such big a thing for me to give to a book, because if a book makes me happy, I think it deserves it. So I got 9 books as I said before here, so without any further ado, let's get into the video. The first one in the list is the first book to a trilogy, and it is a very famous adult fantasy trilogy, and it is The Final Empire by Sanderson. This is the first book in the Mistborn trilogy, first era. There are totally 2 eras of Mistborn books that are out now. Each era contains 3 books, hence there are two trilogies, 6 books as a whole. But the first era of the books are so huge. Each and every book is over 600 pages long. The first book in the series is the shortest, and it itself is over 600 pages long, this much big. So I'm a bit intimidated to get into this, but I'm sure that it will be good, because I have read 2 standalone works by Sanderson before, which are Elantris and Warbreaker. Elantris was really good. I enjoyed it a lot. Warbreaker became my top 2nd favorite read of 2020, so I'm expecting a lot from Sanderson. One of the main reasons why I have not picked this up yet is because I don't have the 2nd and 3rd books in the trilogy. Usually what happens is, if I end up liking a series so much, I don't want to take breaks in between reading the different books. I just want to read them continuously, that is binge read them. Even if I'm not able to pick it up as the second next book itself, I try to give not more than a gap, like 1 or 2 weeks. So that's one of the main reasons why I have not picked this up. But I do think that within the first half of the year, I'll end up reading at least the first book in the series, and that's one of the main reasons why I think this will be a 5-star for me. The next one is The Kingdom of Back by Murray Lu. I've read only one Murray Lu book before this one, but I loved it a lot. It's Batman Nightwalker, and ever since reading that, I have wanted to read all of other books, but I've not got the time, or it didn't happen for me, but it happened with this one. I've added this in my January TBR itself, so I'm sure that I will be reading this in January, because it's one of my most anticipated reads for the year. I bought it last year and I'm very much pumped to read this. It's also very short. I don't even think that it's 300 pages long. Yeah, it's not even 300 pages long, so I'm sure that if I start this, I'll be able to read it at a quicker pace. One of the main things which intrigues me a lot about this one is that it's kind of historical fiction, but with elements of fantasy and magic, like magical realism. I've not read magical realism at all before, so that's one of the main reasons why I'm predicting that this will be a 5-star. And I also know that Murray Lu has a very accessible kind of writing. It's not at all tough to read. It's really easy, yet very beautiful when it comes to the prose. You guys know how much I like reading beautiful prose, and that's one of the main reasons why I think that this will be a 5-star read for me. The next one in the list is another first book in a trilogy, and it is Northern Lights by Phillip Pullman. This is the first book in the His Dark Materials trilogy. I've owned this series for almost a year now as a whole. I've owned the 2nd and 3rd books for nearly 2 years now. So I've not picked it up at all, but I do want to read it as soon as I can, and that's one of the main reasons why I've included it in the TBR as well. I actually thought of including this in my January TBR itself, but I was adding 2 first books from series in the TBR already, and I didn't want to pile up my TBR with first books in series, because it'll be a bit more intimidating. Because if I start a series, I want to continue it, because most of the series which I started, I have all the books with me, so I don't want to do that thing. Hence I didn't add this in my January TBR, but I'm sure that I'll start at least the first book by the end of the first half of the year. Hopefully. I'm very much positive that I'll be able to do it. Let's just wait and see. And I've already watched the first season of the show alone. I've not watched the 2nd season. The 2nd season is currently airing, but I didn't watch it mainly because I want to finish reading all the 3 books. Then I'll have to watch the show from the beginning in order to see the differences and understand everything. Also, I like the magic system in this one a lot while I saw it in the TV show. I'm very much excited to read it and understand how it is done in the books, because this is the original source material. Let's just wait and see if I end up liking this or not. The next one in the list is Cujo by Stephen King. One of the main reasons why I want to read Cujo is because I've tried starting the book 3 times and I have not made it past 45 pages. Okay, I don't think there is a reason at all behind why I didn't read this. It's mainly because when I start reading Cujo, something comes in the way and just distracts me always. It is something mentally or some work which I have to do immediately, so I don't end up continuing reading this. But I should say, while I read it for the first 2 times, the 45 pages which I've read until now, they were really good. They didn't feel bored at all, and everything started. Okay, that's the main thing which drove me crazy, because I read only It by Stephen King before this one, and it is a mammoth. Okay, it'll take a lot of time to see things happening, but in this one, just within the 45 pages itself, the main root cause of the book actually started, and I was able to see that scene in the book, which was also very intense. If you know the premise of the book, you know what I'm talking about, and I definitely want to read this for sure in the first half itself. Mainly due to the reason that I've picked it up twice and not read it. Also, this is also a very tiny book. Okay, this is the smallest or shortest Stephen King book that I own in my shelf, and all the others are huge tomes. They are at least 600-700 pages long. I don't want to start with them. I want to finish this first. So let's just see if I end up reading this or not. The next 2 books are the second and third book in a trilogy, and they are God's Grave and Dark Dawn by J. Kristoff. These are the sequels to Nevernight. I thought that I'll start Nevernight and I'll give some time and then read these 2. But as far as I've read Nevernight until now, it is really awesome. Okay, I don't think that it's perfect for everyone. It's grimdark adult fantasy, but I don't think that it's that much adult in any way, because I didn't see any that much of adult content except like one scene, 2 pages. Of the 300 pages that I've read, I thought that only 2 pages consisted something like explicit content, which is not that much suitable for all readers of different age ranges. But I'm sure that I'll be continuing with this book and I'll finish it ASAP. Okay, I think that I'll finish this within a day or 2 from when I'm filming this video, and after that itself I definitely want to get into these 2 books as soon as I finish that. But I'm not sure if I'll be able to, because I have many other books in my TBR and I don't want to keep these also waiting. Let's just wait and see, because I've heard that Nevernight is the weakest book in the series and God's Grave and Dark Dawn are really good. Many people say that the second book is the best of the 3. I've heard that when it comes to trilogies, I've experienced, okay, second book is normally something which slows down paces, and the third book is the one which actually ends up being the favorite, or the first one. It's very rare that the second one becomes a favorite for many people, but I've seen that God's Grave is the favorite for many people who have read the Nevernight Chronicles. So I definitely want to read these 2. And I'm sure that I'll be reading these 2 by the end of the first half of 2021. It's just a matter of time when I'll be reading them, how quick I'll be reading them. I'm sure that I will be able to finish this. Okay, I didn't think that I'll like Nevernight this much, but I'm sure that I'm loving this. Okay, this is perfect for me as a person. As far as I can say, until the 300 pages that I've read now, I've just got like 150 pages of Nevernight left. At this point, I'll definitely give the book 5 stars, but I'll just have to wait and see, because if everything goes as expected in this one, there won't be these 2 books, so something horrible is going to happen here, which I'm waiting to see. Okay, and also there are many horrible things happening in this one, which I just love reading. Okay, it's my jam. I just love reading it, and I'm very much excited to pick these 2 up, and I just hope that I pick these up sooner rather than later and I end up enjoying them. Let's just wait and see. The next one in the list is the only classic, and it's my most anticipated classic from my 2021 Classics TBR, and it is Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte. Okay, now this is a classic which actually deals with a tragedy, okay, a family tragedy, and I usually like reading sad stories a lot. Okay, if the main characters whom I love are put into a lot of struggles, and if they just end up making things better at the end for themselves or for others, that's the thing which just makes me happy, and it's my jam. Okay, I just like people struggling and then reaching their goals, because that sounds and seems very real for me, because that's how it happens for all of us. And one of the main reasons which intrigues me a lot in this one is that some people consider this to be a family story or a romance, but it's actually a tragedy from what I've heard from people. Okay, and this is also the only classic which intrigues me the most, apart from all the 5 other classics which I've included in my Classics TBR, and I'm sure that I'll be reading this sooner than any of the others in the list. And I've not also read this before. This has already been in my TBR last year once, and I did not end up reading it. I knew that I would not read it after making the video, so I was not able to change it, but I'm definitely going to try to read this sooner, and I'll try to make a review also while I end up reading this. The last 2 books in the list are non-fiction books, and the first of these 2 is Factfulness by Hans Ola and Anna Rosling. Okay, this has been one of the non-fiction books which I've been meaning to read for a very long time. I bought this in November last year, 2020, and I knew that I would not read this last year itself, because it's a huge book and I do want to take my time and read it slowly and grasp everything that's said in this book. It's actually just a book full of facts and certain things which are explained through those facts of our evolution and how things work out in this world in an economic way mainly. And this is also one book which interests both me and my brother a lot, so we are going to read it sometime at some point this year, and I'm waiting to have a discussion with him after we both end up reading this. And I think that I'll be reading this first than him. Let's just wait and see, and I'll try to make a review of this one also if possible. I find it very hard to make reviews for non-fiction books, okay, because when it comes to fiction, the words just flow out of me, but when it comes to non-fiction, it's not at all like that, because I learn stuff rather than just enjoy stuff and entertain myself. Learning is difficult for me to put forward on a screen in a presentable way so that people don't get the facts wrong, and this is a book about facts itself, so let's just wait and see whether I like it or not and whether I make a video or not. The last one in this list is Deep Work by Cal Newport. Now this is a book which actually deals with when we work deeply, okay? It's not like intensely working, but the concentration that we give to a work while it's being done. I'm a person who's very much productive when it comes to the morning hours. That's mainly why I work in the morning and I read in the evening time, because reading I can do it in any time. Unless I'm tired, I'll be able to read it anytime, but when it comes to doing work, especially sitting in front of a screen and working, it's difficult for me to do it after the sun goes down, because my system just shuts down then normally, but it's not always like that. While in office, it will be very easy for me because the outside weather doesn't affect it inside in any way. But as we are working from home now after the pandemic, it has been a bit tough, and I'm working only during the morning hours. I start early and I end early by 6 or 5:30 max usually, and I want to know how I can increase my productivity in many ways. That's one of the main reasons why I'm reading a lot of self-help books and non-fiction books which are related to productivity and time management especially, and I think this will be one of those books which will help me a lot, because I've heard nothing but good things and great things about this one, and I do think that I'll be making a video for this one or filming a video while reading this one. Let's just wait and see how it goes, and I do think that this will be a 5-star read for me. Okay guys, these are all the 9 books that I've predicted to give 5 stars by the end of the first half of 2021. Let's just wait and see if it happens or not. And until then, if you did enjoy watching this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and also share it to your friends. If you want to get more content from me, do subscribe to the channel, because I publish new videos every Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday. Thanks for watching and have a great rest of your day.